Hello, everybody, and welcome back to
They can't see us.
We can't see us. They can see us.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Where are we?
We'll get there. So, welcome back to the Rockin' Beards podcast. It's your boy HSR, and introduce.
What's up? It's Syd. I have a beard.
And I'm Christen, and I don't have a beard.
All right, so before we get into the review, we're going to do what I'm going to start calling the housekeeping part of the show, because I've noticed the real professional podcasters, they call it housekeeping. So first, we're going to start with a brand new thing that I want to do because I think it's cool. It's going to be called the cool comment of last week's episode. So last week we talked about the Diablo Swing Orchestra.
It might have a better name than that when we...
Yeah, because this is just fresh ideas off the top. So basically you can check in the corner and you'll see our review for Diablo Swing Orchestra, which was amazing because the band, and check this fucking screenshot, the band fucking, they shared it. They liked it. They called...
Thank you for sharing us Diablo Swing Orchestra.
It's
you guys
so cool.
are fucking awesome.
It's so amazing. Like it's just, I don't know. I was so
wasn't
humbled.
there.
She wasn't, but it was okay because she's busy grinding and making music and shit and whatever. She'll have cool stuff to show you soon and all that shit. She's been performing and stuff. And if you do follow her on the Facebooks and the Instagrams, you'll get this like live action young person marketing approach to sharing her stuff. So she's swell is what I'm trying to say.
Thank you.
Swell, not swole.
No, yeah, swell. I'm like a little bit old school with my language sometimes, motherfuckers. Anyway, so let's read this comment because Diablo Swing Orchestra got a whole bunch of nice comments, but this one struck out to me the most because it's from Timothy Hendricks. As you can see, it should be a screenshot on the screen. It says, really digging your podcast form of reviews. I'm from Alabama, so not many people talk to about this stuff. Keep it up, guys. I'm not going to lie. That's why I started this, because nobody wanted to talk to me about music at work and shit. So I just wanted to say, up in Montreal, I relate with you. And
But I'm curious, what did the people in your circle listen to?
yeah, it would be dope, man.
I want to know, like, where are you from in Alabama specifically? Not that I'm going to come stalk you or anything.
Yeah.
But, like, I want to know, what are they listening to? What are they bumping today? Like, what's their favorite album this year? What's your favorite album this year? Let us know. Give us a shout.
And that's like to everybody watching this, because at the end of the year, list weeks and shit, we need some inspirations. And what about you? Do you have any questions for Mr. Timothy?
No.
All right, that's cool.
Thank you for being supportive.
All right, so let's move on from this new segment of plugging comments to the part where we plug our contest, the Grind to 1,000 subscribers contest. Oh, and if you're bored, you can, in the description, skip ahead past this. Like, we've said the same thing for quite a few videos now. This is just him.
The animator.
That's right. So basically what we're trying to do is hit 1,000 subscribers by the new year if possible, as soon as close to it after, whatever. We're trying to get to 1,000. You guys have been amazing. We've actually seen the growth and the love since we started this, so you're all fucking awesome. Basically how it works is you subscribe,
Thanks,
you hit the
Mom.
like button on the video, and in the comments you comment on either the video or the review or the album or just something to like be involved, to grow the community. And then we're going to do draw like style. First place is going to get $100 of Amazon money with a USD equivalent, plus the right to request an album. Second place is $50 with the right to request a review. Third place is $25 with the right to request a review. So once we hit 1,000, a few days later, we drop a video announcing the winners. And all you got to do is like and comment. But if you go like and comment on other videos, you actually get more entries into this little raffle type shit. End of the day, very soon, somebody's going to win some
just
cheddar.
to explain, one comment per video gets you...
Plus the like.
Plus like, and one comment per video gets you one extra entry into the contest each time. So you go and like and comment on like 200 videos, you got 200 entries. That's a pretty good statistic.
We're gonna just like compile that shit down on an Excel sheet, randomize the fuck out of it with some randomizing site, and boom, answers are gonna come out. That's it. That's our fucking logic for this. Anyway, we can validate what we can validate, and that's what it is. So we look forward to hitting that 1,000 point, and honestly, we still appreciate the growth that's come from it. And anyway, so that's enough of that bullshit. How about we move on to what's probably like what you're here for in the fucking first place? Does somebody want to introduce this album?
So today we're reviewing No One Ever Really Dies by N.e.r.d, the brainchild of Pharrell. For those of you who don't know who Pharrell is, he is the guy who was responsible for giving you 24 hours of happiness a few years ago.
'Cause I'm happy coming along if you feel like...
So, that for like a day. And that was pretty much my exposure. I mean, I knew who N.e.r.d was. I knew who Pharrell was, mostly because of internet memes, based off the fact that he hasn't aged since his birth, I think.
That's true. He actually, like, I'm not going to post it because it's better when you get somebody with better skill. Anyway, he fucking looks the same since ever.
Dude's a vampire. Anyway, so yeah, this is his band, quote unquote. It's a band in the same sense that D12 is a band, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. Not well on this album perhaps, but go listen to their earlier work.
I did actually check out their earlier work a little bit. We're not getting into
I just want to say to make that statement is a bit unfair because they actually, up until like their previous albums, had a lot more of, you can tell they're more of a funk band. So
and I really did enjoy their previous work more than
which is just to defend the definition. I don't think comparing them to D12 is fair.
These chicks don't even know the name of my band.
Anyway, moving on. This is for you fanboys out there to show that we're trying to be some kind of professionals, but we're sometimes wrong, and be forgiving because it's N.e.r.d. and we're not really into
it's
them.
N.e.r.d.
Is it really? I can't just say. I like saying N.e.r.d. better.
But
anyway,
it's N.e.r.d. man.
So do you listen to his solo shit? Do you listen to his Snoop Dogg features? Did you pass the Crevassier? Did you
clap along if you feel like you're without a roof?
Yeah, I don't know. This dude like fucking blew the fuck up when I was in like grade 7 and then or 8, and then all of a sudden there was that Snoop for the Snoop Dogg's Drop It Like It's Hot, and that was
that was him.
Yeah. Well, that whole like I'm a nice guy with a eligible bachelor. Like, those are the lines I remember. That's all Pharrell. So for me, it was like, okay. At the same time, the Neptunes were like taking over on all the beat making and we're fucking with all the big boys. At the same time, I heard fucking posers, and then that whole Rockstar song would come in, and it was fucking dope.
So you gotta, like he grew up on like hip hop. We grew up on rock.
I want to clarify that all I have is these snippets of Awesome of Pharrell.
Okay.
Single wise. I've never really, like, again, as I say on practically every one of these reviews, I've never listened to a full N.e.r.d. album. But I do appreciate, like, a song like Everybody Knows, which is musically powerful and has a heavy criticism of a certain type of culture. Where at superficiality, it often sounds like fun, like, empty music. But when you really think about what he says, there's usually, like, a point behind it. And I'll confess, for this review, I haven't necessarily gotten to the point behind all of the songs on this particular album, but I want to give him the credit that usually there is some effort to make music that's deep in this fun and fluffy-ass way that's fun. Like, it's kind of like he wants my mom to listen to it, but he also wants me to listen to it, and then my grandmother can join in too.
And you're all doing drugs in the club.
Anyway,
Kristen.
Yeah, your turn.
Yes. Oh, I don't know what to say.
When did you encounter the dude?
Yeah, I'm happy.
All right.
So that was maybe when I was in fourth year of high school here in Montreal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then nothing really after that or before that. I mean, I've heard him probably and heard of him, but not.
So basically 24 hours of happy, some Snoop Dogg feature.
Mm-hmm. So no really huge background or history or no concrete opinion on if I love him or hate him or this group.
Honestly, though, if you were like, because she's younger than Syd and I, and so if you had like that extra 10 years of life or whatever, flat out, you would not have escaped this guy when I was in high school. Like, it was impossible.
But again, he wasn't like he wasn't a name that was going around in high school for me when I was in high school. Like,
no, but it was
yes,
more.
He was around,
it was more like as Neptunes. It was part of various
even
groups.
them. Like that was on the outskirts of like what. But I went to like a white Jewish high school, like
ethnically mixed high school. I think is a politically correct way to describe it. Like, white people turned out to be the minority by straight numbers. So it was a very fun experience for encountering other kinds of music.
Like, everyone in my high school was listening to, like, Good Charlotte, and I was listening to Slayer, so shit was weird.
Yeah, so we had, like, Good Charlotte and Sean Paul in the same fucking, like, playlist all the time. It was fucking a good melange.
So what do you guys think of the title, No One Ever Really Dies?
I realized something.
Was that what N.e.r.d. stat?
Yeah, I realized that.
Yeah, just say it. You can say it.
Yeah, no one ever really dies, and that's why there's an underscore too, probably, right? So you don't count the because N.e.r.d. No one ever really dies.
Is that actually what their name has stood for this entire time? Like,
hold
is this
on.
a self-titled album?
Let's just do it. Let me 2 seconds research time. So we looked it up, and
on Wikipedia.
it's a backronym.
The
so
internet's most reputable
apparently
source.
it was just N.e.r.d, I guess. I don't know. Look, I don't know what it stands for. We don't know. We know that it now stands for No One Ever Really Dies. So yes, it's kind of like a self-titled album.
So they retconned it.
One of you guys who knows, who watches all our shit and likes to comment, I'm hoping is here. Also, you're probably not used to this cast because you're like, why the fuck is the Rockin' Beers doing something that should be on the Headspace? Probably, right? When I looked at all the rappers and shit, I was like, it's a strange crossover episode.
They are technically, they're classified as like a rock band.
Yeah, a funk musical kind of band. So I think it qualifies, and fuck it. Rock can fuck with rap. I want to see Kendrick on Megadeth. I'm just saying. And I love the album cover. I'm just throwing it out there. It's just like these mashed up tinfoil teeth with this fucking tongue out, and it just has like the title on it like it's drugs.
What do you think it means?
I think it means the title. This is like drugs.
I felt like it was also like No One Ever Really Dies, and then like it's kind of typed out. I felt like it was a commentary on meme culture, like. You will live on through social media and through the internet, and like the title is even laid out like a meme, like it's typed out in, I don't know what font that is. Someone tell me what font it is, but it's that
meme font.
It's meme font.
I agree.
That should be a thing.
No, that was a really good point.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I make points.
Do you have additional insights?
No, I mean I think both of them make sense. I didn't really think of it. I just didn't. I don't.
But
I don't
do
know.
you like it?
But what do you think about the tinfoil?
I think it's
that.
I think it's jokes, bruh.
No, I think it's kind of like, in a sense, if you look at it, it's like the album is like a tab of acid or something, and that it's like drug addicts and using the music to like enhance or whatever. That's my thoughts.
It could also be, you know how like there's a conspiracy theory, like you wrap tinfoil around your head to stop aliens from what movie is that from? Anyway, that's a thing. Look it up. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Tinfoil on the head, so on the teeth, to be like don't let other people put words in your mouth type thing.
Okay. I respect that. That was more insightful than I was expecting with the way you started it. No offense.
Mic drop.
Be.
I like you, Sid.
Oh, I figured too, like, when people have like gold teeth.
I think that's kind of
like
mocking
making fun
it,
of
right?
stuff, yeah.
Because you'll notice Pharrell's very clean. You don't often see him he probably gets a lot of corporate sponsorship, but he himself is a very clean-looking dude, you know?
Yeah,
he's grilled the fuck out, is all I'm trying to say. Anyway, you guys want to start talking about the album?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lemon.
You know, I guess my puns are a lemon normally.
It's too bad I already said it.
Yeah, I'm keeping my pun in. Somebody.
Yo, I just want to say one thing. In the days of tape, man, if you pulled that shit, you just wasted like $5,000. Like back in the 70s, if you recorded this song and you like made it silent for like fucking 6 seconds for no reason,
it was more like 2 or 3 seconds.
No, it was a lot of waiting.
It was longer than 2 or 3
No, it wasn't.
seconds.
I was like ready for the drop and just waiting.
Yeah,
oh my god.
But it was like, look, you're right, but we don't live in that era, so thank goodness.
Waste not, want not.
All I'm trying to say is
I'm wasting.
I don't
time
agree,
is
man.
Money.
Because like right off the jump, I'm gonna come in with this. I have to frame my review. As y'all who are new here, who don't know me at all, I'm a very lyrical dude, and I like that heavy flow lyric shit, right? And for me, this is like oddly in the realm of more of the rap side of the life in terms of lyricism, right? But then I thought about what Pharrell's trying to do with this album, right? And I realized, well, N.e.r.d, N.e.r.d. No One Ever Really Dies. I'm going to say Pharrell, meaning N.e.r.d, for the rest of the review because I'm going to forget. And no disrespect
so to the other guys in the band, Holden is sorry. I don't know.
They all clap. Pharrell equals all.
In the description below, I nearly credited one of the guys in the band as a feature. That's how little I knew his name. I'm very sorry. I have it written down somewhere that's not in my note file because I was looking. Fuck, I'm sorry. Anyway,
so
moving
Pharrell,
on to the point.
Jimmy Page.
Shut up.
Carrie
So
King.
what I realized when I started thinking about what are they trying to do with this album review? They make party-ass feel-good music. I mean, think about it. Everyone knows him as Happy now, or Pharrell. But, that's the same guy, right? His music's always kind of had this upbeat, fun, party sound to it, right? Pharrell is the type of shit that, for me at least, has always been best when I'm drunk and I'm out at a party dancing and stuff. And I'm putting that lens on. But why I respect this dude is because he doesn't waste his bars with aimless bullshit. He laces some aimless bullshit in to hook you, and then laces some knowledge on you in the same way. So what I'm respecting about this off the beginning is that it's not aimless. It's a really calculated and well-composed way to how did I put this? Be an ambassador to the idiots of a little bit of actual knowledge in the middle of it, right? And I've seen this. It's kind of like how DMX would take this harsh-ass gangster fucking kill 'em all lyrics and bring it right to the club like it was talking about anything else. But Pharrell's doing it with a little bit more consciousness and self-awareness and about some more political woke issues. Woke, I say as an ironic term because I find it funny.
Hashtag woke.
Anyway, yeah. So with that in mind, this was weird because like it was boppy and I started dancing right away, which was nice. I mean, it has that effect. The musicking, which Syd often describes as better than me, is really interesting. It's got a cool collection of sounds that ultimately create this flow. And what Syd was shitting on earlier as we started this little segment was the part where it like just stops out of
right
nowhere.
At the end, like the song ends.
And then
It's
it comes
over.
back in just to like play it for 30 more seconds. Rihanna raps like Rihanna does, and
it's fine. It's cool.
It's
little
like, look,
dubsteppy part.
I'm going to say that I'm not a huge fan of her as a rapper person, but I actually respect and admire the swag and talent she brings with it, and she takes it seriously, and it's cool. And Pharrell does a lot of things in terms of weird voices and multiple, like, I get the feeling Pharrell gets really high if he does smoke pot and just whatever, and it flows, and he taps in with his ESP, hashtag spoilers in the future, and he gets that inner energy out, and he just lets it come out, and it comes out fucking weird and cool and shit, and I really admire the complexity and interesting nature of this song. But at the same time, parts of it felt really like vacant and empty. Like it felt like it was trying so hard to be this thing that it honestly felt a little on the generic side while sounding super distinct. It was the strangest experience. I had a lot of trouble connecting to it. I love the idea of the song. It's kind of like I don't actually love the idea. Sorry, I love the name Lemon. But like, so
It reminds me of 30 Rock.
the first
and it makes me
verse
smile.
is like girls are all over Pharrell. The second one alludes to the upcoming race war. Rihanna flosses for a while. They say lemon a lot.
It made me think of lemonade. Like
Yeah, she says, look, I don't understand the song, but I enjoy the feel that I get while I listen to the song.
I mean,
So-
it definitely sets the tone very well for the album, because what a lot of these songs are a lot of really different parts that are kind of cobbled together. So like you'll get a lot of really like ideas and themes and sections that don't feel like they belong in the same song.
Yes.
Just kind of like, and that's
Like
my
going-
biggest problem
like-
with.
Here, let
it
me give you a
ends, and
tangible example. Like going from girls be all on me to whites and blacks might have an upcoming race war in the next verse.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, like are
But-
you on speed? Like
On the other hand, I just want to say one more thing. Why I like this song's lyrics is because I'm left with this uplifting, I can do anything feeling, even though it kind of feels all over the place. And I'm not really sure how to digest it yet, so I'm just being straight up. I'm not sure what to take from those lyrics. I'm left with a 4. It feels like an all over the place mess of awesome that I really like, but I like it, so it's fun.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually looking up an example of something, but I feel like what you're saying is kind of like if anyone has ever seen M.I.A from the Weeknd, because it's kind of like a compilation of a whole bunch of his different songs put together with this whole video that kind of like has to do with it, and it's the same thing where it's like, it's cool, but like where am I and what just happened now? And I feel like a lot of the songs kind of take you into that, and it's this confusion that's not good and it's not bad. It's just like what.
Like
is
I would say
happening.
that it kind of feels like a remix, and I'd like to hear the original.
That's a good, both of you made excellent points there.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's what we were talking about last night, because I remember I was like, I don't know how to review this, and one of the things was it was like saying it's unique, but it's not unique enough that like it's not unique in this sense of saying, oh my god, I can respect this even though I don't get it because it's totally different, but at the same time you can't say it's generic. It's like an in between, I find.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling you.
Yeah. So I mean, same thing with this song. It was just now it's actually in my head. You see, so at the beginning when I first heard it, it was like, what am I don't like this, and.
But I think he's really good at making
Yeah.
earworms.
There it is.
What'd you give it?
What'd you give it?
What did I give? I just give 4. Because
And
now I'm
now-
into it. Now I'm into
like-
it for some reason.
I mean, look, it is catchy.
Yeah.
It's very, very catchy. Like that hook, bouncing around, bouncing.
Eh.
It'll get in your head.
It
Like,
does. It's
It'll
not my
get in your
favorite.
head. I agree with you when you say that the music is very sparse and it feels like there's something missing. It's
Yeah.
almost like like the Linkin Park album, 1,000 Suns.
Okay.
Like I felt like some of the songs were just unfinished. And I feel like that here too a little bit. Just like that there could have been a little more, but there's a lot going on. Like it's really quick, it's really double time, it's really like it's definitely drum and bass heavy and made for a fun little club night, but it's not music that I can really take seriously, and it's interesting that he tries to work in those serious themes. Like it's a nice attempt, and I respect Pharrell as an artist for trying to do that.
I don't think it was that well executed on this song, but I want to just throw this out there. Comments people, you guys often correct us when we miss the point, and on this one, I'm hoping that anytime we fuck up here that you do so. A, you enter the contest, and B, you like actually educate us, and then the next time we take on something like an N.e.r.d. album or something out of our league, we're a little bit better, we're a little bit more prepared, so in a couple of years we don't have to have those awkward moments where you're teaching us how to do our jobs.
Or you do. Anyway, I'm gonna drop a 3.5 on this one.
All right, let's move on then to that deep down body Thurst. This man, you would have stoned, running against my. This might be one of my favorite songs on the album, actually. I love the upbeat, fucking fun, like, kind of drums. It just, it kind of lifts you up, right? And on a lyrical front, it's super clear. It's clearly Pharrell and friends are not interested in fake-ass posers, right? You get magical lines, not magical, but lines like...
Ain't nothing like these hoes.
All the stuff that you said, hey... Is that what it said in this?
No.
No, anyway.
I hope not.
No, it's not. Anyway.
Hashtag, what's her name? Lil...
I don't know who you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
Cash Me Outside chick.
Her. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, listen. I'm going to put it out there on the record. I personally have no issue with what she does, but if y'all really want her to go away, never talk about her. It's like fucking demons in movies and stuff. The more you talk about her, the stronger she gets.
She ain't nothing like these hoes.
Anyway.
Compare her to these hoes.
So, on this track, all the stuff that you said, hey buddy now, yeah, I heard what you said, I'll bet soft, you're a choke artist, man. Ooh. And it kind of like lays out lines like that where it's like, he's listening to what these people are saying, and it's a kind of a general criticism of people in general. It's not really about a music or a this or whatever, it's just kind of like a live by your rep style thing, and it's like, I hear what you're saying in general, and then there's lines like, we're all like the maddening, the American mall, where corporations won't pay for the effects that they cause. And then, you're not the Milky Way or the center star. It doesn't matter what you win. It's if inside you're lost. And you're like, when you really like think about these little snippets of lines that he's like laced all over this song, there is this congruency of like, you know why Pharrell's magical as a person? It's because he really believes in the shit he says, and he has this positive energy. And so when he comes out there and he's like, yo, if you're rotten inside, bad things are going to happen to you. He's like the definition of being a good person and successful. If there was the poster child for good makes money, it's Pharrell Williams. And so when he says it, I'm like, yeah, I'm inspired. It's true. And he's kind of saying, make sure that your thirst is for noble shit on this track. And he does it with this musical eloquence. And I'm sorry what anyone else might want to say criticizing it. This might be one of the best musical performances of singing and everything on this album. Plus, it's mixed with such a positive message. It's delightful.
It's funny because all that stuff you just said about like he is the good person who is famous, and like when he says shit like you take it to heart.
Happiness.
I was like, that's Dave Grohl to me.
Yeah, no, Dave Grohl's another one of them.
Yeah.
But I think Pharrell might be a little more well known in 2017. Pop market.
I mean,
Pop
Dave
market.
Grohl is like the king of rock
Pop
right now.
market.
Pop market for sure. I like this song.
Here's the difference. Foo Fighters is not necessarily up for a record of the year, whereas Pharrell is definitely up for a record of the year.
Maybe. I like the song. I think this is a song that really suits. I'm not always a fan of Pharrell's voice. I feel like it's not as malleable as he'd like it to be. Like sometimes it lacks a little bit of grit. But this one really works because he has a very smooth, very easygoing voice. And this one, he's got the held notes and he's got the harmonies and he's not doing too many acrobatics, and it's really cool. It works really well with the beat. I don't have too much more to say on this. This was a 4 on 5 for me.
Cool.
Okay, I have a hat now in solidarity.
Solidarity.
Same video.
I have hair, and it's very luscious and shiny.
There we go, that's his hat.
Yeah, Holden's low-key really proud of his hair, so give him compliments.
Low-key, I love my hair.
It's
amazing.
Hair.
It's thick, it's luscious. I have some native blood in me. I got some native hair mixed in.
I have British blood in me, so I got no
I
hair.
won't be mean about it.
Just look at this. Look at this. Look at the volume. Anyway, let's go back to
the
the
color.
Yeah.
Bald as shit.
I had some color once upon a time. All right, talk
Okay,
about
this is like a
Baba
whole
B,
other
right?
video now. I don't know. I mean, okay, again, my point of view for all these songs is going to be very like objective and very much on just this is how I feel about it and this is how I would
Perfect.
rate
That's
it based
amazing.
on what it actually is and not my opinion.
I'm just doing
So-
the Macarena over here.
So basically, I mean, I really liked the beginning of it, and then later on, I feel like it just the vibe really changed, so I wasn't a fan of it. But it's a good song. I think it's very good. I would give it a 4. Again, I think it's just lyrically and just structurally, like it's nice, it's happy, and it's very like pop, and yeah, I like it.
Positive.
It's positive.
But what was the
exactly.
thing
So
you didn't like about it that you were talking about
that
before?
it's positive.
Oh, you don't
I
like-
just thought I'm very into like dark and
But you didn't like
melancholic
the
and like yeah.
yeah.
So at the beginning, right, it had that feel, and then suddenly it's like it was
That
like
was
what
amazing.
happened. Yeah. So I mean, like objectively, it's good. It's just not my cup of tea.
I can appreciate that. I didn't even give it a perfect mark. I give it a 4.5. I thought it was. See, again, it's in that line of it's distinct enough to not be boring, and but it's kind of in the same vein, generic enough to not stand out.
It sounds familiar, that's for sure.
Anyway, but I think as well, as Syd would say, he's not reinventing the wheel, and etc. That whole speech, I don't remember the whole one, but basically it's
It's a
coming.
long song,
Can
so
you
you
give
can't
your
really
speech?
do the thing.
Well,
Like,
no, but
comes
there's-
in,
but-
does its thing.
But like that whole thing, but it's a little longer, but it's still in the same vein of goodness. Anyway, 4.5 for me. It's close to perfect.
And voila.
Yeah.
I'm your mirror, I'm the voice inside your head. Hey, some motivation to get
Weird.
That was Wale.
Yeah.
So at the end of this song, Wale comes in, and I am not a big fan of this part of the song because it just changes and goes in a whole new direction. And in general, I feel like Wale, every time I hear him, he's a little bit in this self-righteous whininess, and it makes me not want to pay attention. So if
But-
I miss something on the verse, that's what happened.
I do really want to say that I love how it goes at like abracadabra and then it changes.
Yeah.
The change is just like this discount island music that
'Cause,
like why? You
'cause
could have done anything else.
I just don't like it either, and it really is the feature. I think if we didn't have Wale here, and it had been Pharrell or even Gucci, it would have been like a nicer
yeah,
flow.
Gucci sounds good. The first
seriously.
that whole first part of the song is pretty
hold on,
fucking
I want to
sweet.
point it out like this. It's deeper than that, right? Gucci's a really good fucking choice. Because let's take a look at Gucci's career. He was drugged out for a while, made a lot of weird choices, went to jail, sobered up, came out, and has made the best music of his career since.
666.
Anyway, then if you listen to what's happening, Gucci's perspective is saying, they said I couldn't do it, but I changed up, abracadabra like magic, right? And that's
Yeah.
cool. Pharrell's almost responding to Gucci saying, I always believed in you, son, and anyone can do anything. And considering Pharrell's career against Gucci's career, it's a really good like placement of people behind the message of what the songs has, right? So I respect the choice. And it goes through, and it really has this like, hey, you can do anything feel. And,
And then suddenly the music changes, so maybe that can be
yeah.
it. You
And
know?
I really I dig it. I think
just-
I think everything up until the part where Wale comes in is honestly a 5 on 5. It is amazing. But then, like I described earlier, Wale just got under my skin with the tone he took and the direction it went, and I didn't enjoy it as much.
Like it's the lyrical equivalent, or it's the musical equivalent of like having just like the best ice cream sundae, like banana split, just fucking vanilla, cherries, cherry sauce, whatever, and then just like pouring tomato sauce on it.
Yeah.
Like why?
That's a great way
Why
to
did you have to
describe
do
it.
that?
That's no, that's
I gave it a 3.5
Analogy.
because of the ending. I was like, I can't.
I
It
give it a
bothers
4
me so
because
much.
it's still really good. It's not poorly made. I just don't like the choice. That's how I feel.
It's
like.
one of a couple of moments on this album that really feels like elevator music, and I cannot condone that on a record that's being sold at $15.99 at fucking whatever music store that's still open, or iTunes or whatever the shit.
Best Buy and Walmart still sell shit.
Yeah, so there you go.
Either way, I feel like it's a 4. It's really well composed, and that for Gucci, love it.
Kills it.
Listen, I want to say I can't believe it, but I'm turning into a big Gucci Mane fan. That's all I'm trying to say. He's really great now that he's like sober. He looks fresh, man. Go look at him. You know how much money he made off of that $500 haircut? I was just saying, man. You looked at 500,000 hearts on Instagram on that picture. The dude actually just spent free advertising. How much money it would cost to get that paying through Facebook, man? Facebook owns
No
Instagram.
idea what you're talking about.
So he posted a meme where he got a $500 haircut, and I saw a lot of criticism. Oh, Gucci Mane's an idiot. I just had to say, dude. What?
I need to find that meme.
It's just a really fresh haircut, and he said I spent $500 for it.
Oh.
But if you would spend $500 in Facebook advertising, given that Facebook owns Instagram, on Instagram, you might get 5,000 hearts. Maybe. That's like the positive end. He got 500,000 hearts and shares and retweets. That means he made money. He made tangible. People bought his merch. People streamed his album. All this other shit. He made more than $500 fucking dollars off of a $500 investment of a haircut for free ads. Gucci's inspirational is what I'm trying to say. The dude knows Instagram and shit.
Gotta spend money to make money, champ.
Anyway, so when I hear Gucci talking about reformation and how he's coming back, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. When you hear Pharrell being positive and happy, that makes sense. When you hear Wale whining at the end, it's just weird.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't like Wale that much.
I don't know. My say pretty much kind of goes in line with what both of you are saying. Which the beginning is good, and then the first time I heard it, that was like, okay, seriously, I really don't like this. Why do I have to sit through it? And then suddenly it just changed, and it was like, what happened? And so I listened to it again. And then the beginning just gets catchy and it gets to you and it's good and it does what it's supposed to do. But then I don't like the, I don't get it. I don't get the transition. I don't know. So like, I don't know, like between a 3.5 and a 4. So would that be like 3.75?
3.78.
7.5. That's the middle point.
What did I give it? I gave it a 3.5.
I gave it a 4. Anyway, let's keep it 1,000.
I get it.
0, 0, 0.
One thing I learned on this song, it was like just profound. It struck out to me. Future has models by the thousands in his bed, and I started picturing 1,000 women in a bed, and that just sounded awkward, like there would be suffocation and death. So I wanted to know if anyone had thoughts on that. Okay, this song, this song is awesome.
You gotta suspend your disbelief, man.
Awesome. This song is fucking awesome. It's kind of like the premise of these are two dudes who are clearly winning in life in general. I mean, Future's had a relative
1,000 models suffocating in their rooms, man.
I mean, like in general in life, these guys are on top of their respective genres. They're really like popular. They know they have a good buzz, and this is not like some flossy ass negative song. It's like the happiest positive I'm the best song I've ever heard. And they keep it positive and they keep it 100 and they do all those things where it kind of sounds like a flossy song, except that you end up feeling like not like they're rubbing it in your face, but they're telling you can come join them at the end of it, like, right? And that's when I realized that the tone of this album is very like encouraging you to get up to where they're at, not telling you to stay the fuck down where you are. And I really appreciated that tone shift from an otherwise like maybe super generic message. It's super encouraging. It's super fun fucking music. It's all over the place again. Future fits in surprisingly well.
Yeah, I mean, it's all over the place, but this is one of the ones where I felt like it worked. The transition between like the really, really boppy double time and like Future's dirty fucking halftime beat that he raps over. And I mean, look, a lot of people hate on Future. I don't. I think he's cool. I dig what he does.
Mask on. Fuck it, mask off. That's one of my dance moves.
That shit. I mean, I don't mind it. I think it's really funny that he did that whatever commercial it was with Cher. Because, you know, it's a funny comparison to think that Cher was doing what Future is doing now in the 80s. That makes me chuckle a little bit. But, you know, I don't hate what he's doing, and I dig this song. It's a nice, like, mix between really dirty and really fun.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a good message. I also don't hate the fact that they took Keep It 100 and made it Keep It 1000. Because, you know, you got to up the ante. It's almost 2018, cool. Man. Just fucking rock that shit. I give it a 4 on 5.
I give it a 4.5 on 5. I felt positive and happy. And at the end of the day, it's not often I leave music smiling and enjoying life more. So I can't hate a song that gives me that feeling at all.
I wasn't crazy about it, but Future's very good in it. And, like, I think this is the same comment for all of us. They're like, but the feature... No, and I mean, lyrically, too, if you look at it from all the perspectives...
I'm not the biggest Future fan like Syd. I
am the biggest Future fan. I have heard this.
Okay,
and some other things that I can't
Whoa, same. But I liked it, but nah.
That's okay, yeah.
But still, as a rating, I'd say 4 and 5, because I mean, it's good. It's
well
done, well executed.
And if anyone wants to comment and be like, Christen doesn't seem like she knows a lot about rap music and stuff. Yeah.
I don't.
So we're acknowledging that to you now, and feel free to comment however you want. We like your comments. I love them, is all I'm trying to say. Even trolls, you guys are cool too.
I know rap. There's Vanilla Ice.
All right, yeah, for me, we all gave grades.
There's Lonely Island.
Lil Peep. No, I don't know if that's really rap. That's kind of in between. Lil Pump. Anyway, don't.
Gucci.
Don't do
Don't
it.
do it.
Bounce in the motherfucking club.
So this one's about Keith Lamar. The dude who was like his girlfriend in the trunk was there on video filming, and he got like shot by the cops and whatnot. And I believe she says don't do it or something like that. It's actually like from that video. I could be wrong, but I know that N.e.r.d. or Pharrell was highly inspired by that incident and it led to it, right? And if you really like just look at the breakdown, first of all, this is the fucking happiest, poppiest fucking song about police brutality I've ever heard in my entire life, which is good, because the fact that anyone can create a song about something so serious but make it so pleasant to listen to, it's effective marketing, and I appreciate the fact that somebody's taking that edge with it, right? Then they whispered, like, just the part in the song where if you look in the chorus, right, they have the don't do it shit, and then in the second chorus it adds like this whisper, like something says, etc. And it's like you get the sense where it's like these are the voices inside the head of like these people who are being persecuted. It's really almost got that introspection to it. Verse 1 outlines some shit about the Keith Lamar shooting. Verse 2 kind of shouts out a whole bunch of different places where stuff's happened. If you Google any one of those places, there's some relatable situation that's happened that's been relevant.
We didn't even talk about the music video for the last one.
Yeah, I know.
1,000. You should check it out. It's cool.
And it's kind of related to this subject of basically all the cities that get listed in that second verse probably have a little shout out in that music video for 1,000, and it's really well done. The chorus kind of is almost like from the perspective of what the police are saying and what they're saying is going to happen, and then kind of how quickly don't do it. Like it's almost like just like that, a bad moment happens from a police perspective, right? Like it's really powerful to me. And then Kendrick comes in and does this really upbeat but a little bit vacant lyrically verse about the situation. Like it's good. I have no real qualms about it, but like none of the lines really stood out to me. What stood out to me was his flow and energy and how well it fit the song.
I mean, that's it, right? Like a lot of what Kendrick brings. Look, he is a lyricist first and foremost, absolutely. But his flow is so versatile, and he can do so much with his voice and so much with his delivery that, I mean, you can hear one Kendrick song to the next, and it almost sounds like a totally different rapper. I mean, look, the beginning of this song, again, is straight up elevator music. I can't believe they put this to record and they're selling it. And
I love it.
The message is fine, is great. But
it's so good.
I feel the opposite. I gave everything in this song a 3 on 5 until Kendrick's part. And that gets a 5 on 5. Like, from there on.
Man, for me, it's like this track balanced out at a 4.5. As much as you're calling it elevator music, I love it. I don't know what you're anyway. You're allowed your opinion, Sydney.
Nice.
We can agree.
The style of music that plays when you get in an elevator.
But it sounds like good elevator music. I don't hate it. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's dope.
As much as I don't like agreeing with you on anything, I agree
thanks.
with you. I'm just. Yeah.
I'm not an agreeable person, apparently.
No, it's just you.
I get
Kendrick,
it. I'm with you, Christen.
Okay, the feature was really great. I really like that part, and the rest I really no.
Oh, it was so good.
But again, not that it's not well done or anything. Not that it's like, what the hell are they doing? It's just really not my kind of music. So again, I would probably get like 4-ish, somewhere in that realm, objectively. Yes, very objective.
And you gave grades and stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna see the future. The next song is ESP.
Yeah.
The evil incarnates, they want to take it from us.
So, I'm gonna throw out this question here. I want to know if they were aware that they were ripping off Sexy Back. Holden is arguing that Sexy Back came out so long ago that they probably forgot about it.
No, I'm not saying that they forgot about it. My argument is that given the volume of music all these people have produced, the likelihood of similarities appearing over their career, almost even to specific melodies, it's almost impossible to avoid for most artists.
I want to know now, can you guys listen to this one without hearing Sexy Back?
I can.
He can, I can't. It's there.
Kristen?
know it.
Okay.
I
Kristen
probably
doesn't
know
know who
this song.
Justin
No.
Timberlake is. He's too
No,
old.
but I probably know it. I just
Are we
don't
there?
know
Are we
it.
at the age where Timberlake's like phased
No.
out?
He's not
No.
phased out. He's
No.
an icon now.
No, he's
Right.
there. Still there.
All
He's
right.
he's King T.
It's just not.
And
in my way.
I'm
so
making that a thing now.
I
King
kind
T.
of
It's
dig
just
this
your
track
thing.
though. The
It's only gonna stay here.
It's all right.
Tea.
So basic. No, maybe you don't know. You don't know what gets famous on YouTube. The stupidest shit gets fucking famous.
Hashtag King T.
Yeah. So maybe that's just what happens. Maybe in like 5 years it's King T, and they trace it back on like one of those know your memes, and it was him. So this song's about tapping into your inner energy, finding your third eye, creating, and all that shit. Now, when Pharrell Williams, who's given us this so far on this album, says that, that's some credible ass shit for Pharrell Williams to be saying, because evidently he's tapped into his fucking third eye inner ass bullshit, and he is able to really take music and do some weird shit with it that I find really works. It's really effective. Like, it's not boring. It might not be music I necessarily am going to go throw on every single time. It's not my cup of tea, so like I don't have a lot to really go on, but there was one line in here that really struck out to me because it was quirky as fuck, and it's did you ever realize that universe just means one song? Because get it? Universe. One song. And I was like, motherfucker, he got me on. But it really fits like the theme of the song. It really is well played, and in general, it's long. It's kind of spacey and out there. It's really ethereal, but I think it's what he's going for in light of like the subject matter of ESP and whatnot. So I guess I'm just saying I really appreciate what he's doing with this. But it's not really my favorite song, and for this I give it like a 4 because I can appreciate it, but I don't know how much I really like it.
I mean, I was like, I know it's gonna get stuck in my head, and actually it hasn't. So I take that back. But I don't mind it. It goes from like the sexy back riff off to like kind of a dubstep Christmas.
Okay.
It's also a little long. There's a couple of tracks on here
Yeah.
that don't really justify their running lengths.
5 minutes, 29 seconds.
I gave it a 3.7, just to it wasn't. Meh.
All right.
I don't even know. I don't remember it in the sense that there's nothing that like stood out to me really, other than it just kind of sounds. It blends with the other stuff.
Okay. If I can just interject for a quick second. YouTube commenters, if you're going to make a comment along the lines of, oh, the girl doesn't like N.e.r.d, obviously we should... Listen, that's the whole fucking point of the discussion, is to show you what other people that are not you think about this shit. Please go on.
Oh, thank you.
You see how he's preemptive defending you?
Yeah,
Thank
because
you.
I've seen the comments, and I'm like, I know what's going to come when people... Because I think that you're wrong in that sense, and her opinion is completely a representation of what other people think about your favorite artist.
It's a first listen through the ears of somebody who doesn't listen to this kind of music all the time. So yeah.
So hang on, I'm gonna ask you this: how do you feel about the fact that this shares subject matter with a Tool song?
Yeah.
Third Eye.
Huh. What do you mean? How do I feel it is shared? But like,
that's
Like,
a...
there aren't a lot of artists that'll put to tape. Not a lot of popular artists that'll put to tape a song about, latent abilities, extra like whatever, extra cranial abilities. What would you?
Yeah, but a guy like Pharrell makes total sense.
It's cool. It's cool.
I think it's interesting. I think it's like better do that than something else. And I mean, it's not like Tool has the rights to that, and it's
No.
not like the
I'm not saying that. But I mean,
But you mean like just using
just to
that
be
subject
fair,
matter.
I would say
within
that
this-
the last artist that I heard write a song about this was Tool,
But
and we're
this
talking,
song
15,
is
16
really
years ago.
just about you have potential and you guys are wasting your talent. And that's what the whole song's about.
Okay.
Layered with the idea of ESP and your inner eye and stuff, because it's out there, which anyone who writes a song about their third eye is writing about potential.
But not a lot of people write it. Like I'm giving them a compliment right now.
I know,
Not
I
a lot
know.
of people will attempt to write a song about that.
I think that's really great.
I was just translating it and making it a little less about the mystical side of it. It's an interesting way of expressing it, but I've heard it a lot in rap, actually. Like
Okay.
a lot of rappers, I think, have actually brought up the concept of a third eye, your inner vision. You know, like
I mean, I guess being woke, right? Like Kanye says, my third eye is open or whatever.
yeah. So like for me, I've heard it a few times, which is like anyway. What do you think about the song "Sit and Hold and Stop"?
What do I think about the song? I don't know. I didn't really write anything for it. I just
But
said
you
it's kind of
feel-
like it blends with the other stuff and also doesn't. And I mean, it's not bad and it's not good. I have no like concrete anything to support an opinion otherwise of just saying it's a song and it's there and cool.
So what'd you give it?
What can I give it? Like I would give it a 4 because it's still like there's obviously effort put into it and it does have a meaning. So
Do you find that it's talented? Do you find that it's mediocre?
Do you find that it's lightning, fire, magic prayer?
Yeah, that.
Live wire going through your body.
Okay. So this is a long song that is really interesting to listen to in the sense that the sounds and the journey you go on from a musical perspective is dope. I have no fucking idea what it's about. I had the lyrics open in front of me, but I couldn't focus on the lyrics because I was just felt like more like I was being taken on a journey through this song. I know it
Bro,
starts.
you've never had that lightning, fire, magic prayer?
That's it. I got the sense it was a little bit about identity, a little bit, and I don't know what it's about, but that doesn't mean it's a bad song. I kind of feel like I don't have much to say, so I'm not going to stretch. This track is well composed. It goes on a journey. It's split into 2 parts of sonic sounds. It's almost 8 minutes, and to its credit, I don't get bored listening to it. So it's not like I'm saying this from a place like, this is some shit. It's just, it's so layered and there's so many things happening where it would have taken more times to listen to it to fully wrap my head around it than I unfortunately had before we recorded this episode. So I sucked as a reviewer and I gave this a 4.
I bet you thought I was going to say that I hated this song.
No. Because most of the music is really good and you don't tend to hate people who play talented music.
I like this song. I liked it a lot, actually. It was ironically probably one of my favorite songs on this entire record.
It's not ironic to me. It made sense.
I mean,
It's
because I
ironic
usually
to
hate
you.
the long songs, right? Like, they're not, oh, you took your hat off.
Yeah,
I thought
I
we were
did.
solidarity, bro.
Like I said, focus.
It I don't know if I'm going to get hate for this comment, but this song sounds to me like a wet t-shirt contest set to music.
Okay. Explain that, please.
There's a lot of water samples, like you hear water running throughout the track, and it keeps the, I don't know what
keep
it is,
going.
man.
You
That was
can
just
do
the
it.
first
You
thing, that
can
was the
do
first
it.
thing that came
You
into my
can
head. I was
do
like,
it.
this
That's
song
the visuals.
sounds like a wet t-shirt contest. I'm sorry, but it does.
Okay, but what else?
But I really did enjoy it. I love the title. I can't. It's so silly and so goofy, but like
Lightning, fire,
it's
magic
got charisma. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's the type of title that just like
It kind of made me
presents
picture
itself.
like this is Burning Man in song form.
Yeah.
That was my biggest like real sense of like
Interesting.
if we're gonna go with what I pictured the like what I've seen on YouTube, the moment where they light the Burning Man on fire and everyone's out there, and then I suppose they had a wet t-shirt concert after for like Syd, and the song
Thanks.
is long, but I
Yeah,
got the
for me.
feeling like
Thanks
it's like an overnight experience, and like the song ends at like 8 a.m. when you're exhausted after one of
Yeah.
those nights, right?
yeah.
So anyway, 4 on 5 for me. What did you feel, Christen?
I like this one, and I think maybe because it wasn't so like, I don't know. I liked it. I really liked it. What did I write for it? I wrote that it's kind of darker. It's very interesting, and it's the fact that it's long. Like, it's not long in a bad way that makes you say, okay, why is this so long? I want to end it. It's
Yeah, like it
kind of
keeps your
takes you
attention.
through a journey type.
Right.
So I would give it like a 4.5. I really liked it.
Moi,
Okay.
je l'ai donné un 4.
All right, so cool. Let's roll them sevens.
Like Voltron, we come together. Flying through forests and weather.
So this is the part of the review where it's like, what the fuck? That's my feeling. Yeah, go on. Do it.
Because I was sitting there listening to this song, right? And I see the feature, and I'm like, fucking Andre 3000, fucking yes.
Three
Like,
stacks.
he does not grace music that often anymore, you know what I mean? And so when you see his name on something, like, you're waiting for Andre to drop a verse. You want him to drop a verse. And the whole thing feels very much like something he's going to drop a verse on. Like, it's really weird. It's got that Stranger Side of Outkast kind of feel going to it.
Rolling them sevens.
Yeah, and it's just like that southern swag. Like you're waiting for him to do his thing, and when he finally does drop his verse in the last like 40 seconds of the song, it almost feels like it's an afterthought. Like, he didn't even need to be there. And there was no, like, I really did enjoy the sample, like, kind of sample-driven beat. The, like, you know, like...
And your head does not stop doing this, like, the whole way through the song. Like,
but the song could have used some lyrics, and I'm not a hater of instrumental music. I love instrumental music, but this one just, it didn't justify being an instrumental track.
There were lyrics, right?
There were.
Lots of lyrics, actually. But that's the thing, is it's okay. So... It was like, for every time that happened, there was an actual line that would complement it. And honestly, the song does address the fact that they're successful now. It seems like in light of everything, everywhere they go, they're able to roll them sevens and whatnot. And it really just doesn't. It sounds like it's one of those songs where it's trying to say more than what I ended up taking away from it. So yeah, André comes in the last 45 seconds of a song, and he has a little singy part earlier, but it's almost indistinguishable from Pharrell's singy part. And I just felt André's 4 to 8 bars was not very interesting. It was good. It was a really good little verse, but not like, I wouldn't put this on to hear André's verse, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's so buried.
Like, you'd have to sit through the entire song to just finally get this, like, not even satisfaction.
I enjoy the feel of the song more than Syd does, I believe. I think it's still got a good sense to it, but at the end of the day, man, this shit's a 4. It's not... It's bold. Again, if I'm faded, I'd probably really enjoy White Boy dancing to this shit, but that's the end of my enjoyment. This is... Of what I've heard, this might be the weakest song on the album, which is sad, considering André 3 Stacks is right there.
But this is what I'm saying. If you got it, like, for me, just personally for me, this is my thing, you guys can disagree, whatever, but if you've got to be faded, if you got to be drunk, if you got to be on some kind of drugs to enjoy music, like, I'm not saying if you enjoy music when you're drunk and on drugs, like, that's cool, but if the music is specifically made to be enjoyed in that state and you can't enjoy it when you're sober, it's just, it feels dumb when you're sober, then, like, what's the point, you know?
Yeah. I don't disagree.
And I'm not like a fucking straight edge fucking don't do drugs kid. Like, look, I've done my share of shit and I enjoyed it. But at the end of the day, if I can go home and rock a song when I'm sober and rock out to it when I'm drunk, then that's the sign of that's a sign of a good song to me.
Right. And again, I do think that it's more of a political point of trying to drop, like, truth in the middle of seemingly mainstream bullshit. It just, in this case, I feel like it missed the mark a bit. I don't know. Yeah. What do you feel, Christen?
I feel like from your perspective, anyways, it was very much like waiting, like always, like, we're gonna get there. No, nothing, and it kind of still the same thing. It's like you're waiting for something that comes in right at the end, and I don't know. I didn't really like how it changes a lot. Like, I got very lost in it, but it was interesting. Like, it was interesting. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, it just didn't. It wasn't something that I felt I could follow. So I don't know. I really like a 4.
Okay. I gave it a 3.8.
All right, fair enough. I was more excited by the next track, Kites. M.I.A. is sick. Anyone who performs like 9 months pregnant at the VMAs or Grammys or whatever, right? But that's respect.
Did she do that?
Yeah, she did.
That's awesome.
On top of that, like, she's a huge, like, political activist type musician. She's Sri Lankan. She's everything she does is badass. Everything she does is dope. It's weird. It's out there. And, like, if you don't like M.I.A., you should go check her out. So the fact that she's here next to Kendrick Lamar as a feature, next to Pharrell, that's a cool fucking mix from a feature list for me. And I got a delightful experience out of this one. It wasn't like there was any one line that really stood out to me. But the idea of sending positivity like kites out there and shit, like whatever, it's a cool idea. It's a nice thing to think about. And the fact that Pharrell does the Pharrell thing, Kendrick does the Kendrick thing, and M.I.A. does the M.I.A. thing, and they all blend perfectly together on this track is pretty fucking swell. Like, in general, they all stay on theme. They all do their thing. And I don't have, like, a significant amount more to go. It's kind of got that weird beat feel when M.I.A.'s there. It adapts. Kendrick does his... Like, I'm not a huge fan of Kendrick feature verses in general. I've said that before on other podcasts. But I find they often are... and they're just, like, exactly what Kendrick's supposed to show up and do. Kendrick by numbers, to quote Syd from earlier off camera. And... that's what it is. It's kind of like he basically just does what he's supposed to do, and he's Kendrick, and it's dope. but I don't feel the heart and soul on a verse like this where I would otherwise feel it on other projects maybe. So I feel like if anything, Kendrick's verse is what's taking away from the 5 on this song. I'm giving this a 4.5 because I love M.I.A. and I love what Pharrell's doing, but Kendrick kind of, I don't know, it didn't sit right with me. I was hoping for more. I always hope for more than I get with Kendrick, and maybe that's bad on me as a person.
I mean, I would say that in terms of M.I.A., this is the best utilized feature on the album. Because the song feels very much like an M.I.A. song all the way through, even though, you know, she only really has her verse at the end, but she's providing vocals all the way through. She's doing that, you know, that kind of like a melodic thing that she does, and her voice just has so much swagger, man. Like, when, you know, it's just that lazy, laid back, easygoing, but at the same time, you know, she's got real shit to say, and you know, like, you shut up when she's doing her thing. I agree that the Kendrick verse it's fine. It is again, thank you for stealing my line, Kendrick, by numbers. But I enjoy this one. This was the most cohesive, I think, the most cohesive track on the album. I gave this one a 4.5. It's the highest grade I gave. I really did enjoy it. I really liked the beat. I really liked the kind of plunky, creepy little synth line that goes through some of it. All the parts really come together really well on this one in a way that I kind of wish they would have on the rest of the album.
That's fair.
I've never really listened to her, so I don't.
You should. I think you'd actually dig. I think if you really gave her an honest chance, you'd really dig her.
Yeah. So I mean, this is very, again, not this is very uneducated point of view, but I mean, the beginning.
She's the only one of us in school.
Yeah.
She's super educated.
To be fair, I'm also full-time jobbed. It's very busy.
Education-wise.
There's no
Oh.
there's no comparison here. I don't know. He just stated that. But
I don't know.
Anyways.
I just talk sometimes. It's bad. Sue me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sue
Just
me.
it's a good song. I like it. Like when you go for
We
it.
reviewed Bjork. Yeah, plugging it.
You should watch that. You should. I wish I was there for that one. Would have been interesting.
Go on.
I don't know. I like it. I mean, I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's very catchy, and it's good. So
All right.
like 4.
I'm sorry for cutting her off YouTube. You can get mad at me if you want for that. See, I'm all over these comments I know are coming. I'm kidding.
Hashtag Holden hates Chris.
Yeah, hashtag Chris kills hashtags. Let's talk about the secret life of tigers.
Oh.
What a seg. What's cool about this song is it really explores like the generational views on things and how the younger folk are kind of a lot more open-minded about shit. And you can see it out with lines like, your parents discriminate with the bathrooms, and then in parentheses, the fuck? Do they know these girls are in your room? And just that line alone, it's like saying that the parents are going out of their way to like protect their kids from shit and blah, 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 while the kids are just going out of their way to hang out with whoever and doing whatever all the time. So it's just showing that, like, it's not even worth it. It's just like almost raw prejudice bullshit against like really not even dealing with the problem. Like the fact that the bathrooms thing was an issue it was so wonky to me. Like, what was strange to me was how much of a topic, how divisive it was for me personally. It was just weird. It was like, okay, old people think one thing, young people think another thing, and I think that issue was the most clear divide of that in the last little while, and I appreciate him plugging that. And there's just shit like, yeah, you're saying welcome to the jungle, come on, because, you know, old people sing that shit, you know, Axl Rose is big with all our parents. Got all this freedom in your room, your mom's against immigration, your dad's against the right to choose. And I fucking dig it. It's like, look, this is what your parents are up. This is their... And it just kind of made me think a bit. I didn't get too deep in my thinking of it, but I really appreciated the fact that he's able to do that. With the Secret Lives of Tigers, it's like this whole underworld of what the young people are doing are happening under the nose, almost like a weird martial artist cult or something, under like the watchful eyes of ignorant parents. And I fucking dig it. I fucking dig what he's trying to do with this track. I thought it was well made. It's shorter, which I'm really appreciating after the length of some of these on the album. And it came in and it did its thing and blah blah blah. And I 4.5.
It's funny because he does that more than I do now.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't like this one as much. I like the title a lot more than I like the actual song.
Okay.
It kind of felt to me like they pushed a bunch of buttons and used like an auto align feature in Pro Tools and just kind of said, fuck it, the kids will listen to it.
I listened to it.
You know,
My kids.
I don't know. I wasn't a major fan of this one. I gave it a 3.5. That's about all I got to say about it.
Okay.
I feel like the title, like I was expecting something like, yeah, I don't know, big, and it was just very kind of like the other stuff. But what's cool about it is that just based on the lyrics and all of that, normally I'd find something with that message would more be like an angry type song, right? Or something like if we went into 3 Days Grace, right?
But that's
like,
not.
and then suddenly it's not. No, but I think that's cool. Like it's just interesting that, you know, it's talking about things like this, but just in a very like not, oh my God, I'm so angry way.
That's how Pharrell do. The whole
Yeah.
album is kind of that.
But it's cool.
This
I
is
mean,
how
but
Pharrell do.
I'm not
In the
crazy about the
buzz when he goes to
song
party up
itself.
in the club.
This is
I
how
don't know.
Pharrell do.
Holden and Syd, shut up. We should let her talk.
Oh, it's fine. I don't know. I gave it a 4 because it's still good. It's well
All right.
constructed.
All right. But the truth is, Christen, I was just trying to lifting you up.
The dance hall is packed to the curb, yo. We gotta read them all.
That I'm not the biggest reggae person. And in general,
That's good because this isn't really the biggest reggae song.
But it felt like reggae-esque. I don't know what the right genre is, like white guy reggae. That's kind of what I felt from it.
I guess.
I don't know what the right word is. You guys can correct my genre choices. I'm saying I don't know. That's how I'm starting this. On that note, I didn't like this song. It was definitely my least favorite track on the album. I gave it a 3.5 on 5. It felt like really talented cookie cutter fluff with high pitched Ed Sheeran, but with like accents and stuff that were thrown on. Where I'm like, really, you chose Ed Sheeran for this song?
Yeah.
Like that was my biggest concern. Was of all the people who might have been from the islands or something who could have made this sound nicer, you chose him.
And it's not that Ed Sheeran sounds bad. Like Ed Sheeran is obviously a great singer.
Yeah.
But
Like,
if
River
you
Revival.
thought his fucking cameo on Game of Thrones was pointless, like,
Yeah, this is pointless.
he sounds beautiful. And the harmonies over his voice sound great, but he's not. You're right. He's not doing the thing. It's another underutilized feature.
Why? Like you have him. Why not? Like
Well-
another song, something just not that. I don't know.
I don't know how it came to be that Ed Sheeran showed up here on this song, but it's the song where Pharrell decides to go super islands with it is the song Ed Sheeran comes high pitched. Anyway, I don't know. I don't enjoy like the theme of the song, or not. The theme is bad. Sorry, that's not what I meant. The tone of the song, I don't enjoy it. It kind of felt like a bit of a lame party zen song. That's what I wrote down. Like they're all zen, they're all party.
I felt like it was more like a happy little sex song.
Maybe like it didn't do it for me. So 3.5.
I didn't actually dislike this one as much as some of the others. I like the kind of tribal vibe it had going for it. I know you probably hated that sample that kept
Maybe
kinda
tribal
happening.
was the right word.
I didn't mind it as much. I gave it a 4 on 5. Not because of Ed Sheeran, because I do agree that feature's kind of pointless. Like you could have told me that wasn't him and I would have believed you. But it wasn't as big a sin to me as the way they underutilized André.
Right.
So I didn't dock the same number of points for it. And I didn't mind this as a closer because it is kind of a come down from a really strange album.
Yeah.
So it works in that sense for me. So I gave it a 4.
I don't know. It was just, it didn't like it. It was very, there was nothing to, I found like there was nothing, there's no hook, there's nothing. And then Ed Sheeran, like why? Like I wouldn't have really known unless it said Ed Sheeran. Or if I recognize his voice, but still it's like.
I might have recognized that voice.
Like, no, but I mean,
but
it's not like, oh, there's
But it's
Ed
more
Sheeran
in
and
the
there's
way
like,
you would recognize Justin Timberlake in Where Is the Love than it being obvious. It's more of a, oh, it's Ed Sheeran.
But it's like I recognized it because I saw the name and I was looking for it. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, there's Ed Sheeran. Like he's doing his thing.
like if he was on another song, it would have been more interesting.
I don't know where he would have fit in better, but I feel like, I don't know, a lot of other people might have been better than Ed Sheeran for this one.
It's just, I don't know. But it was 3.75.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So I guess that brings up to the end of this album. I ran the math. I gave this album a 4.181. It's okay. It's definitely like got the marks of what I would call a cult classic. Like I could see how a lot of fucking people will feel like this is a dope ass album. But I feel like I'm not one of those people. I'm one of those people that is appreciating the diversity, and I feel like I'm better for having listened to it. Like, there's value in it as an artist to approach music that you're uncomfortable with and, like, go through the experience and try. Like, I feel like it was worth listening to. There are songs on here, like, I really fucking like the Deep Down Body Thurst track. I plussed that the first time I heard it, and there's a few more that I would really go back to, but as an album, there's also a lot of stuff I'm not the biggest fan of, so whatever. 4.1. It's well made, but not my cup of tea.
I didn't plus anything. Excuse me. Very tired. I didn't plus anything on this album. I will say that I did check out just a little bit of N.e.r.d's older stuff because I was curious and I enjoyed it a lot more, just from a first listen. So I mean, I don't know if this is like a drop in form or just like they're experimenting with some more modern, whatever, more electronic sounds, more.
Pharrell and shit has just kept evolving, and this is where he's currently at.
I mean, look, it's a very trippy album for sure. It's very experimental, which is cool. I just feel like a lot of the experiments feel more like collages than actual songs.
Right.
And again, I'm not the biggest fan of Pharrell's voice. So for me, the idea of having a bunch of features would be to bring the songs up to another level with those features, right? And I feel like a lot of the features were also underutilized. So I feel like they missed the mark there a little bit. You got Kendrick twice, but you got André for 30 seconds, and you've got Ed Sheeran doing what?
That thing.
Yes. So you got big names, but not a lot of delivery.
You know what? When I saw the list, my first thought was DJ Khaled, and then I moved on from there.
Yo, it's nothing like
no, just
night and day. This is music. DJ Khaled.
I'm agreeing with you. I just said the approach of being so feature heavy.
Yeah.
Or another one would be like Gorillaz' latest album. Would be a far better comparison than DJ Khaled.
This is definitely very reminiscent of the Gorillaz. I prefer what the Gorillaz do in general.
Yeah, but their latest album is really more on par with something out there like this, but just with more electronic music and less instrumentation, I'd say.
I'm feeling like a 3.6 on this. It's like an okay record. It's not, it's not leaving any mark on me. I'm not gonna remember any of these songs tomorrow probably. So I appreciate the effort. Okay. I like the vibe. Pharrell's voice still doesn't do it, like I said, and the experiments are more misses than hits. But I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the stabs in the dark, kind of, to see always be pushing forward, pushing the envelope. I'm curious to see what they come out with next.
You know what? I guess. I just want to tack onto that. I can see how this inspires some polished versions of this sound that are really great over the next few years.
Maybe yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Christen?
Well, you had a lot of good points. But I think lyrically, based on what I read and what we talked about too, and also just like structurally in the way they made everything and put it together and the style and everything, I think it's actually really good. I think there's clearly effort, and it's not just generic stuff either. I think it would actually be a bit more disappointing, even if they were like, oh great, this sounds like a hit, this is cool. If we had 11 more tracks of Pharrell writing formula hits, it would have been like, okay. So I think I really respect it in that sense. I just wouldn't listen to it because I wouldn't listen to it, and it has nothing to do with
the quality.
The quality, the group, nothing. It's not my jam, but I think I would give it a 4. It's good, like 4 and 5.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so just to wrap up here, for those of you who literally skipped everything to come here, we have a contest, and for that contest, if you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment related to our review or the album, you're eligible to win some Amazon money and request some review shit. So dope. All that shit's in the below or at the very beginning of this video. So rewind, we go into more detail, then skip back ahead. On that note, thank you all for watching. Because without you, the show sucks, and your comments really make it fucking great. Like, we really, really.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a troll attack recently. That was amazing. It was so fun. I had way more fun with it than I thought I would. So it was really cool. So we will answer all your comments. We're gonna take you seriously, and we encourage it. As you saw, we started this one by reading a comment.
That's we're gonna do that from now on. We're gonna pick some comments and be like,
please be nice.
So also let us know what albums you care about coming up. Are you excited for Tool's new album that's apparently coming?
Hashtag soon.
They've been saying Tom Morello heard some of it. Hashtag Tom Morello is a credible source.
Well,
yes.
so Perfect Circle's coming out with a new album
and that's
too.
also exciting. Are you excited for that? That's right.
She's wearing
So
a
you
Book of
can let
Circle
us
shirt.
know how you feel in the comments. Like it, we really appreciate you all. I just want to make sure we said thank you because without you, you know,
Yes.
otherwise we're also assholes and we don't want to be
And
assholes.
fucking happy holidays, guys. What is
Oh,
it?
yeah,
Is it
true.
Christmas before?
No, it's not Christmas yet.
But
we're in the
before
mid-
next week?
Well, we are in Hanukkah
I
time,
don't even
so.
know.
Oh,
so
L'chaim.
So yeah. Anyway, peace
Happy
and
holidays.
love and all that shit. Shalom. Bye.
Kwanzaa.
I am Jewish actually.
Me too.